next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to the move tool, and I'm just going to make sure that symmetry is set to X. And I'm going to right click on my shape and switch over to vertex mode. Vertex is referring to these little nodes, and so what I'm going to do is I need to select the two corners of the front and the rear of the left side here. So I can either select the front one and hold down shift and select the second one, or if you know there are no other points in the way or in between those two, an even faster way is just to hold down the left mouse button and draw a box around those 2 points, and it'll select them both. That's not a good way to do it if there are a lot of little points in between, because you could end up selecting too much. Notice that because we're in symmetry mode, it has selected the same outer points on the other leg, saving us some time. And selected points in Maya are yellow. So what I will do now is I will take the handle that is shown up, and I will move it over to the left, so that the right side of Mario's leg is over to where it should be on the outer edge. I'll deselect by clicking anywhere else in the graphic, and now I'm going to select the middle points and move them in and down to match where it shows up with the actual boot. Okay, so now they look a little bit more like what we've got. Now you have to kind of zoom out to put this into perspective, because right now if you look at mine, that looked fine because I was looking from a little bit from the bottom up, but now it looks like if I look straight at it, it is past his shoe. So I'm going to select all of the bottom points and just bring them up a little bit, so that now looking straight at the character, his pants are not going too far past. Alright, so I have that in place. Okay, and now if you look all the way around your character, you should see all the points are in good shape, and so forth. What I'm going to do is apply some color here to everything except for the arm. And the reason I apply color early on is so I can begin to kind of separate the parts of Mario and see what is what. So we did this in the couple videos ago. We just right click on a face and say assign new material. Sorry, I have to get in face mode. Click a face, there we go. Assign new material, and click on Fong, and then I'm going to say I want the basic blue that's there. If you want to choose a different blue or change Mario's suit altogether, maybe a fire suit, you can do that. I'll choose the blue that's there. And then in order to apply it to the remaining shapes, I'm just going to click the shapes by drawing a box around as many as I can, except for the arms. And now if I right click, I can say assign favorite color, which means an existing color, and you'll see it in the list. So let me try that again. I'll just select the shape, right click, and say new material. And I will give it a name up here. Maybe I'm going to say suit, sorry, not sweet, suit blue. Say what is suit blue? It's that one. And now it will apply it to any shape that I want to. So now if I select the remaining shapes and right click on them, I can say assign favorite material or existing material, and there's suit blue is in the list. So I don't have to worry about getting the exact blue every time. Again, I'll repeat that step. Just click on one of your faces once, and then right click and say assign new material. Following from the list, up here in the upper right where it has the actual name of the color, we're going to just name this to suit blue. You can actually change these so they actually have meaning when you find them in your list. I'll say suit blue, choose a blue here, and now when you click on a new shape, you can right click and say assign existing material, and a suit blue will be in the list. So that's a way you could actually reuse colors and not have to worry about them matching. Alrighty. Okay, and there I've got the blue there. It's a perfect match because I used the same one. This top up here, I'm not going to assign a color to the top of Mario's torso because we're going to have to extrude out a little bit for the straps that go over for his overalls, and there'll be a little red in the middle for the shirt poking through. So I'll leave that one alone. But I will make a t-shirt red for the shirt he's wearing underneath. So I'll just right click on the one face of the arm, and we got zoom mode here again. And I will go up here and say that I want to assign a new color, new material. Okay, I'm going to call this shirt red and pick a red. And therefore I will have established in my Maya project what the shirt should look like. And again, this saves you some time with symmetry because each piece you're choosing, it will assign it to the other one, so you don't have to do nearly as much work. My shirt red's in the list. Just going around and assigning existing colors now since I made a shirt red. Don't forget to do the backside. We're not looking at the backside, so it's easy to forget about it. Now, I noticed here I didn't assign the blue to the back of the his overall part of his torso, so I'm going to go back there and do that while I'm here. Assign existing material. Make sure it's assigning so I can tell that that plane in the way doesn't look like it is. Choose it again. Come on now. Suit blue. There it is. I'm choosing the wrong one. Okay, so now I should have blue all the way around where it's appropriate except for the top. We haven't dealt with the straps yet. And then I have my colors on the back side, so if I rotate all the way around, I can see. We still do not have his body quite round yet. We'll deal with that. We still have to, you know, give him a little back end there, a little bump. You know, we don't need to make this perfectly anatomically correct, but we will make him look like he is smooth looking. So I've got all of my colors all the way around at this point. Now, the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to add some space for knees. Okay, so that his knees are right. Actually, before I even do that, I noticed when I looked at my side view, one part of his leg right here is not down properly. Somehow it got missed. So I'm going to select this point right here by going into vertex mode and bring it down. I don't know what happened there. For some reason, one part of his leg did not get moved down properly. Okay, that's better. Alright, so switch over to face view, click on the face, get the multi-cut tool, and I'm going to just right where I think a knee would be, add a line there, deselect, multi-cut, add another line, and again we can move all those points around if we don't think they're quite perfect, but what that's going to do is give me a little bit of a knee that I can work with. And I'll switch to face view and I can extrude the knee out a little bit from the side, and it's going to be minor, but just to make it look like he's got a little bit of a knee there. I'll zoom in so you can see it. Okay, so I just added a face right here in the middle of the legs, extruded them out so that his legs begin to bend a little bit there. And I'm going to need to go to the back of the shape and do the same thing because I want the back of his legs to come in a little bit. So I'll do the same thing. See if I can line this up just right. Go right in here. Deselect. Across here, and again it's doing it to both legs because we're still in symmetry mode. And now what I'll do is I will select my face and I will use the same extrude tool, only now I'm going to extrude inward. So now that way, actually, you know what, it might be better if we don't do that. It might be better if we just use a regular move tool. Let's see about that. Yeah, then we might have to select some lines here in a second. But play around with that, just kind of moving these in. I might need to move this edge in a little bit and to perfect this exactly how I want it to look. You can see I can begin to move points in. I probably could have done it with just one line. Let me go back out of here for a second and add in just one line and see how it looks just moving in it. Maybe a little bit better. But spend the rest of this step actually making the front of the knee and then the back end come in a little bit.